Everybody, good afternoon. Beautiful day up here in New England in Zone 5, southern New Hampshire. We're hoping for some rain. We haven't had any measurable rain probably in about 3 or 4 weeks now. But we're keeping the watering going the best we can. But hey, I want to get in here and show you a couple things I'm getting ready to do for the fall. Yes, we're talking fall, end of June here. Broccoli. We have broccoli that's been anxiously waiting to get in the ground. We had a little delay with the weather, so we're getting ready to plant some broccoli, which has been kind of waiting for a while. What had happened is actually got some red cabbage down here too. A little delay. Usually by now I've had this already in the second week of June. Due to the weather, didn't cooperate. But hey, you do try. These peas are ready to go out down here in a little bit. I figure give it another week. So I'll put another row of broccoli down that way there. But I do believe in interplanting, which gets a lot more productivity out of a bed. I'll give you an example. These peas went in here March, first day of spring, March 19th. 3 months went just like that, but these guys are pretty well done. These will come out, like I said, next week sometime. But in here, we've also got, inside, we want to take a peek down here, we've got acorn squash going down. A little dill gets put in there. Yep, just kind of gets planted, it seeds itself wildly. But we've got acorn squash growing in here. These beans are just starting to blossom. So when those beans get done, the acorn squash will go that direction to the left, and of course the broccoli will take over here. And the squash may pull into the broccoli a little bit too. I even got a little watermelon. My grandson Hunter wants some watermelon, so we fit one in there. But so that's what I do interplanting. Get a lot more out of a garden bed. One bed, sometimes I get 2 to 3 crops in one bed. That's amazing. So anyways, let's get planting. And we're gonna basically no different than planting in the spring, except for these are gonna go a little deeper because if I can look at some of the ones over here, they've been, like I said, they've been waiting a while to get in. But broccoli you can plant deeper and it'll create a new root structure and it'll just come out beautiful. So we're going to get going with that. Now what we're going to do as far as preparing the ground, we've already got some nutrients already put in the garden. The peas took a lot out. I mean, you know, peas do, I guess, give something back, but anytime you take a crop out, you want to give it some fertilizer right away to help build the nutrients up. Of course, this is all composted back in the spring or last fall. So I like to be using Garden Tone by Ipsoma. I've already sprinkled some of that down the bed. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my usual lime, where like about a quarter scoop at each hole, help avoid what's called club root. Once again, club root is when it's like a nodule at the bottom of the stem, and what happens is the plant just stops feeding up nutrients. I did try an experiment. I just want to jump over something real quick. It's kind of interesting. So we did have a plant, and you were really close to it, Linda. I'm just going to walk over here. I had a broccoli plant that was being affected by club root. Yes, even though I did lime, it still had a problem. This broccoli plant here all started wilting. I said, well, what if I pile a bunch of soil around the bottom, really pile it up, and give it a good drink of water? So what it did, it started creating new roots above where the club root was taking place, and there we go. By the way, the broccoli's starting to pick. Isn't this great looking? Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and plant some broccoli here. I guess I'm going to take a scoop of this here. It's a quarter scoop.
And what is that?
That's, yeah, what is that? That is, it is pulverized lime, yep. And that helps, get some extra calcium into the soil. It helps avoid club root. You can see how dry the soil, but we'll water it down well. Get it nice and ready to go here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the broccoli down here. Get rid of these guys in the peat pots. Yep, the roots are coming out of the bottom. Look at that, looking good, huh? Yeah, there we go. We'll break off the edge of the peat pot, and that way so it won't wick the moisture out. And I'm going to go ahead and plant it much deeper than it is here. And yes, we will get that well watered. Don't worry about that plant.
Guess what it's doing?
Huh? Raining.
What it's starting to do.
Just mildly. We're going to start getting more rain next week, I guess. Let's hope so. We are in a drought here. I've been actually trying to water my peaches just by putting a sprinkler on them. I got my drip irrigation going for the raspberries. This one here. There we go. A little bit small one. That's okay. It'll catch up. You don't want them all coming at one time. There we go. These guys in here. See how these look inside of here. Oh boy, yeah, look at that. Now look at that. So we're just kind of break just
Root down.
a little bit, yeah. Just going to kind of help loosen up a little bit. All right, we'll just slide back a little bit down here. Fix it up a little bit. All right. Plant nice and deep. Okay, let's give it a little drink of water here. What I've done now is I've taken some fish emulsion, and I got two types I use. This one here has a lower nitrogen content, 241. The middle 4 number is the phosphorus and phosphate, and then the potash is the number 1. But of course, this is all organic. Well, it comes from the oceans. The ocean organic. It's natural. There we go. But it's all derived from fish fertilizer. I'm going to actually use this here. It has a little more nitrogen in it. Give it a little more of a boost right away. 511. This is also fish fertilizer, different product, but similar idea. Oh, by the way, thank you for subscribing. And any comments is appreciated. We do try to have fun doing this, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You know, if you can't have fun, don't do it. Get more out of a garden bed. Use the space. You know, I remember watching I loved it. It was called Victory Garden. In fact, a lot of my ideas came from Victory Garden. I'll have to share one of the books one day on my video. I'll show it to you, but I still have them. They're long gone as TV personalities, but he said, real estate, empty real estate in a garden is valuable. Take advantage of it and keep it working. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the garden and show you examples of what I mean by interplanting. Actually, I kind of start with what I do at the beginning of the year and run right through the whole season as far as planting. Yes, blue jays, we have a lot of those. So I pretty much get things planted in the garden by the first day of spring. We're in southern New Hampshire, zone 5. Peas going first. So those are already just started ripping out on an early video, depending which one gets up first. Ripped out the peas already, and we'll plant broccoli. But let's talk about this bed here, and I'll go through the beds and I'll explain to you the timing and things as we go. The first bed is our broccoli, which we planted probably end of April. We do have some polyester reman to keep it warm because it gets some of those very cold nights, but as you can see, it's already starting to mature. If you look down inside here, it's probably already gone by. We've actually had lettuce, which we interplanted when the plants were young. So that's pretty well done, but the lettuce was coming up through here. We'll go a little further up here. This is my second crop of lettuce in here already. I use this for starting my seeds. When we planted the broccoli, we planted carrots, and we also planted onions. So what's going to happen when those onions get done, they'll get ripped out, and we'll put actually my cold frame in here, and I'll plant my fall lettuce in that bed there with spinach and carrots for the fall. So this bed here is our potatoes, and actually, I don't know if you can see the leeks in the middle here. I just got done thinning them out and retransplanting them around. The leeks will pretty much last the whole season because they take like 140 days to mature, but the potatoes, they'll be pretty much out of here by the end of July, first part of August. So what I'll do is in place of potatoes, one of the rows I'll put in fall spinach, another row I'll put in fall carrots, and maybe some beets in with that. So we'll do that. I might also put in a row of broccoli, because we'll have fall broccoli. I'm going to be seeding that later on this weekend indoors or in the sheds where it doesn't get too hot to get that seed started for the fall. The next bed over here, this here was a row of peas, which we've already ripped out. This row is not quite done. There's a little bit of time left to it. We'll see, and give it a couple more days to plant another row of broccoli and cabbage. But then come further in here, my cold frame was here, which has been since moved out. We've got acorn squash growing in here. Now what's going to happen is these peas rip out of here, sunshine's going to come in here, beans are starting to grow, and then when the beans get done, they get ripped out, and the acorn squash will fill out on the left-hand side, and the broccoli will take care of where the peas are, because those are going to come out pretty soon here. Next row, this was lettuce in here. I've interplanted with some Brussels sprouts where the lettuce was. Yeah, woodchuck got it. But and then we got some more celery in here, some carrots. Carrots going to come out in a couple more weeks. which will make room for the celery. And then down here we've got more corn growing, interplanted with acorn squash. So as the corn starts taking off, the acorn squash will do fine together, and away it goes. Coming down to this next bed down here. Peas did not do too well this year. The heat just took over badly. But anyways, we do have peas growing in here, and I did plant some zucchini, and down there is planted butternut squash. Now what's going to happen there, the butternut squash is going to take over, the peas will go out, excuse me. And on this side here, as these peas wrap up, I'm going to plant beans in there. So that's basically 2 crops. So here's another bed here, cucumber trellis. I got the cucumbers growing up. I do have celery going in the middle. As the cucumbers mature, they'll create a little shade in the celery, but as the fall comes along, cucumbers are done, it gives plenty of room and sunshine for the celery again. And on the other side, I have more butternut squash interplanted with the corn. As you can see, the corn's just coming up now, and the butternut squash will start filling out, and just fine. Our butternut squash kind of comes into the path a little bit and grows from there. Next would be over here is tomatoes.
At the end of this bed, you also have...
Oh, at the end of the bed, yeah, I also have some sweet potatoes. I decided to put some extra sweet potatoes in this year. Normally I might have had the whole bed in corn, but I basically do about 9 rotations of corn plantings. So this is our tomato bed. I actually started these up here with the wall of waters, and they really get staked up more. But what I'm doing though is I have lettuce growing in between, okay? And as that's growing, we're harvesting it. And of course the tomatoes are going to take over. They'd be shading it out, but doesn't need all that space right away, you know, for the tomatoes. Down here I've got some, I like to interplant my cucumbers with the carrots. And then carrots here, as the rashes wrap up, the carrots are there and they take over. And then of course we've had more lettuce in the end here. I just planted some new lettuce in here, which we'll just fill in, and as these guys take off, lettuce wraps up. Sweet potatoes here, and what will happen is these wrap up in the season, will plant garlic. So as these wrap up, and they usually wrap up, you know, by the first part of October. It's getting too cold to have them out. And then by the middle of October, I'm planting garlic, which of course will last through till next year. Peppers, I don't really plant much with peppers because they take quite a while to grow themselves. This bed over here, and I apologize for this, talk about interplanting, I got a weed that's just taken over this year. I don't know what it is, but it just keeps on coming up. But anyways, what I've done is interplanted. We did have peas. Like I said, once again, the peas did lousy, but we've got some pumpkin type of product on the end over there, and coming in the middle here is all cantaloupe. And as the peas wrap up, the cantaloupe will take over. Also interplant on the outside sunflowers that the girls love to plant, to pick for flowers. It's beautiful. The ones are probably about this big around. And then as the peas wrap up, I'll go ahead and put a row of beans. Might put some more broccoli or something like that in there. But you know, pretty much the second crop, I have plans where most of it goes, but then some it just has what the space gets available, timing. I'll decide what can fit in there because nature doesn't always cooperate with you as far as its timing. So corn, I do interplant pumpkins with this here. You can see this in here. So what these guys are going to do is they get bigger. They're going to come out where the sunshine is. It's okay. It gets in the path. Of course, corn takes up, does its thing. As the corn wraps up, I cut it down, makes more sunshine for the pumpkins, and we always get plenty of pumpkins. And I've got actually, if you look out here, then I've got 3 beds that are doing that. And that last bed, first bed there, our first planted corn went in the first part of May. And I actually had polyester on top to keep it warm. It was planted in plastic. If you go back and check out some of my videos where I show planting early corn. And then pumpkins growing between there too. And then this guy here, more potatoes. Maybe we got a little woodchuck problem, but the beans are coming back. And plant beans in between because they don't need all that space for the potatoes to grow. And then as the potatoes wrap up, I'll rip them out and plant either broccoli or more beans in that row there. So this bed here has had strawberries. I actually have 5 strawberry beds in total. This is its 5th year for this bed, so it's ready to get ripped out. I do always start a new bed, which is a different part of the garden for new strawberries coming. But this one here, I'm gonna actually take this bed out here in about a couple days. The strawberries just wrapping up. Some of these plants I'll salvage and take into another bed where maybe the original crop's not doing as well. And I'll go ahead and rejuvenate this with some compost, and I'll actually plant my final crop of corn in here. And that usually matures around the first part of October. And then in here we just have some shallots growing in here. That's pretty much a 1-season crop, but if it does finish up early, I'll even plant some spinach along here. And then in here, yeah, we had a little problem with the woodchuck. He ran around and had some fun the other day. So we have garlic growing in here, and I interplanted with Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts get nice and large and tall. Garlic will come out and make space for the rest of it. So that's all we do as far as interplanting. It's just something that gets a lot more productivity per garden bed. And I mean, we get a lot out of this garden. The chest freezer fills up. We do share a lot with other people too, but it just makes the most productivity out of your space. So if you have an empty spot, oh wow, the spinach are wrapped up. You still have time to plant beans, plant broccoli for the fall, plant carrots. I can plant carrots pretty much up to the first week of August. And then they'll pretty much mature, into the fall, right through November. And of course, fall carrots are the best. So there we go. And I do want to show you my plan that I have. I'll show that in a moment there in a little bit as far as what that looks like and how I lay it out. So I'm back inside, quite evident here. And I'm going to show you the garden plans I create every year. I mentioned that when I was outside. So this is how I keep track. I do this every year. Draw a little plan, which you can do. Draw out the dimension of your garden plot, and basically I mark different areas on the plan of what I'm going to interplant, so I can keep track. What's I'm going to put into with the tomatoes or with the corn, with the mostly interplant the peas with the beans, and then every year I do this. In fact, these go back probably to I'm really dating myself now. Started to do this in 1985. I've got every one of them, so. But I do go back a couple years just to make sure I'm rotating things properly too, so we don't get problem with diseases crossing. But just a good way to keep track of everything. I do also keep a calendar of events, so I know what weekend, what to do what. But we'll get into that more into the time when it's time to start the new garden season next year. But hey, just want to give you an idea of how you can get the most out of your garden. And I hope you enjoyed that. And once again, thank you for coming along with us. And we'll be back with more great ideas on how to increase your yield in your garden.